Africa is rising. After centuries of exploitation, the continent is finally being embraced by partners, real partners. Nations that see beyond colonialism, that offer handshakes instead of handcuffs. The contracts are fair. The terms are generous. The soldiers arriving at military bases, just peacekeepers. The mines changing hands, pure economic development. Let's examine one such partnership, Mali 2021. After France's counterterrorism failure, a new friend arrived, Russia's Wagner Group. Officially, they were counterinsurgency advisors. Following the 2021 military coup in Mali, Russia significantly expanded its presence and influence. Moscow, primarily through the Wagner Group, now known as the Africa Corps, stepped in to provide security assistance and military training to the Malian junta, filling a void as Western forces withdrew. In exchange for this support, Russia has gained strategic access to Mali's rich natural resources, particularly its gold mines, with Wagner-linked entities establishing operations to facilitate this. This access allows Russia to extract valuable resources which can be used to fund its broader operations and potentially circumvent international sanctions. Looking ahead, future collaborations between Mali and Russia include a major agreement to construct a state-of-the-art gold refinery in Bamako, capable of processing 200 tons annually, further solidifying Russia's long-term economic and strategic interests in the nation. Now, let's move on to France. For decades, France has maintained a significant presence across Africa, often continuing ties rooted deeply in its colonial past through military, economic, and political influence. While their presence was frequently framed as assistance or support for the African people, a strong and growing sentiment argues that these long-standing engagements ultimately did little to uplift the continent. Instead, many critics assert that France's primary objective was to enrich itself by extracting vast natural resources and maintaining economic leverage, rather than genuinely fostering the prosperity and development of African nations. A tangible common-day example of this shifting dynamic is the recent withdrawal of French troops from countries like Mali, Niger, and now Burkina Faso. Where French soldiers once conducted counterterrorism operations, their departure signifies a profound change, as African nations increasingly assert their sovereignty, challenge these historical power imbalances, and actively seek new international partnerships. Last but definitely not least, let's turn our attention to China. Over the past 2 decades, China has rapidly emerged as a major player in Africa, taking a distinctly different approach from traditional Western powers. Rather than military intervention or conditional aid, China's strategy has largely focused on infrastructure development, offering substantial loans for massive projects like roads, railways, and ports across the continent. While these projects have undeniably boosted infrastructure in many nations, a significant concern often raised is the limited employment and training opportunities provided to local African communities. Critics frequently point out that many skilled and even some unskilled labor positions are filled by Chinese nationals rather than adequately investing in local workforces or transferring technical expertise. This lack of comprehensive skill transfer has been argued to foster dependency, preventing African locals from independently managing and replicating such projects in the long run. Furthermore, the practice of not extensively hiring local labor means that the substantial funds invested in these construction projects often do not directly circulate within the local economies, hindering their growth and potentially exacerbating the debt burden that many African nations are accruing. In return for this development, China gains crucial access to Africa's vast natural resources, from oil and minerals to agricultural products, and expands markets for its manufactured goods. While China champions its non-interference policy and win-win cooperation, the debate continues regarding the equitable distribution of benefits and the long-term economic sovereignty of African nations. Nevertheless, future collaboration points to continued deep engagement through initiatives like the Belt and Road, fostering further trade, digital connectivity, and resource acquisition, as China seeks to strengthen its global economic and political influence.